Mia's dreamy adventure. Once upon a time, near a faraway village, there was a forest surrounded by ancient myths. The children in the village had heard stories about the mysterious world hidden within the forest. In that village lived a little girl named Maya. She had long golden hair and curious blue eyes. Mia always dreamed of exploring the fantastical places her grandfather talked about. Every night when the stars started to twinkle, Mia would quietly slip out of her little house and head towards the edge of the forest, all by herself. There was a path called the Wishing Path, which, according to legend, would reveal a gateway to a marvelous world on certain nights when someone's wishes were truly heartfelt. Tonight the moon was bright, and Mia felt it was the perfect time to explore the unknown. She walked through the village, feeling excited and a little nervous, being careful as she made her way towards the forest. Little did she know that this night's adventure would be more extraordinary than she could ever imagine. As Mia ventured deeper into the forest, the sky suddenly filled with thick clouds, and silver light pierced through, illuminating her path. She followed these mysterious lights and found herself in an open space with a huge, shimmering gemstone tree at the center. As Mia marveled at this unusual tree, its trunk suddenly turned transparent, revealing a small door. The door creaked open, releasing a warm glow, and a gentle-looking old woman came out, her eyes sparkling with wisdom. "Welcome to Dreamland, Mia," the old woman said with a gentle and soothing voice. "I am Elvira, the guardian of this forest." Mia was so surprised. She didn't know what to say. Everything before her was beyond her imagination. Elvira gently took Mia's hand and led her inside the mysterious gemstone tree. Inside was a spacious room with walls made of sparkling gems, and the air was filled with the fresh scent of flowers. Elvira explained to Maya that the gemstone tree was a portal connecting the real world to Dreamland, and only those who truly saw it could see this door. She told Mia that Dreamland was a magical place full of possibilities, where all sorts of fantastical creatures lived harmoniously, together protecting the secret world from outsiders. Guided by Elvire, Mia continued to explore this fantastical world. She saw talking flowers and a group of dancing fairies. On this magical night, Mia felt like she had truly stepped into a dream. However, at that moment, a rapid tapping sound broke the forest's tranquility. The tapping sound came from an especially tall and ancient oak tree. Mia and Elvire hurried towards the sound. As they got closer, the sound became clearer, and they discovered it wasn't just any tapping sound, it was a trapped fairy urgently tapping the tree, trying to get attention. It was a fairy trapped under the bark of the tree, looking quite different from the others. With wings shimmering in silver light, Elvire gently touched the bark, softly reciting a spell, and the bark slowly opened like a door, releasing the trapped fairy, the fairy named Phyllis. Eagerly reported to Elvire. It turned out that Phyllis was a messenger in the forest. Lately, there had been cracks in the boundaries of Dreamland, allowing unfamiliar creatures to slip in, causing chaos and fear. Phyllis had unfortunately become trapped while carrying out reconnaissance. Elvira felt deeply concerned after hearing this. She knew that the appearance of these cracks might threaten the balance and safety of the entire forest. She decided to take Maya and Phyllis to examine these cracks, attempting to repair them and prevent more foreign creatures from invading. The three of them began their journey, following a winding path, further and further into an increasingly strange and unfamiliar part of the forest. They reached a secluded lakeside at the deepest part of Dreamland, where the air carried a strange scent and peculiar lights floated on the surface of the water. Suddenly, the water at the center of the lake began to swirl, forming a huge vortex that seemed to connect to another world. As they observed, a giant shadow swiftly moved under the water's surface, and right after, a massive water elemental creature leaped out of the lake, launching an attack towards the Elvira quickly cast her magic, creating a protective shield that repelled the water elemental's attack. Mia stood nervously, having never witnessed such an intense battle. At this moment, she realized that the peace and tranquility of Dreamland were facing an unprecedented challenge. Under the fierce attack of the water elemental creature, the protective shield began to crack, and Elvira's expression grew more serious. She knew that if the shield broke, they would have nowhere to escape. She gestured for Mia and Phyllis to retreat, but Mia instinctively grabbed Elvira's hand, firmly expressing her determination to face it together. Right at that moment, a dazzling light emerged from the center of the vortex. A powerful source surged from it, causing the surrounding air to tremble, weakening the elemental's assault. Seeing this, Elvira quickly chanted a more powerful spell, hoping to seal the vortex and prevent more foreign creatures from entering. Under her guidance, Maya joined in chanting the spell. Though she didn't understand magic, her presence brought a special kind of strength, amplifying the power of the spell. Elvira and Mia's voices intertwined, forming a complex network of notes slowly hovering over the At the same time, Phyllis spun rapidly, emitting sparkling silver light, attempting to stabilize the power within the vortex. As they exerted all their efforts, the water elemental creature launched another assault. A huge pillar of water rushing towards the earth. Elvira maintained the protective shield while harnessing the surrounding natural forces, with tree roots emerging from the ground, entangling the water elemental, restricting its movements in the intense battle. The vortex gradually shrank, its light and energy retracting until a final loud sound. A flash of light, and the vortex closed completely. The water elemental creature let out a long, mournful cry as the vortex closed. Its body gradually dissolved into droplets, returning to the lake. As they breathed a sigh of relief, a thunderous sound suddenly came from the scuff, and and a beam of light shone down from the parting clouds, illuminating Maya's face. To her surprise, she found herself holding a softly glowing, peculiar stone, which seemed to have risen from the lake bed during the magical battle. With the closing of the vortex and the subsiding of the water elemental, Dreamland returned to its usual tranquility. Finally, the three of them had the opportunity to sit down, and Elvira explained the origin and significance of the peculiar stone. Elvira carefully examined the radiant stone, and her face gradually revealed a mix of astonishment and She told Mia that the stone was known as the heart of the elements, an ancient legend in the forest. It was said that the heart of the elements possessed a powerful energy to balance natural forces and seal cracks. It would only appear when the forest's balance was seriously threatened, seeking the right person to restore harmony. Mia felt deeply honored and also a heavy sense of responsibility after hearing she realized that in this adventure, she wasn't just an onlooker, but someone chosen to play a part. Elvira continued to explain that the heart of the elements needed a pure and resolute spirit to trigger its power. And Mia's courage and determination were the reasons for the stone's joys. From then, Elvira guided Mia in learning how to use the heart of the elements. She taught Mia a series of breathing and meditation exercise, helping her connect with the natural energy contained within the stone. After much effort, Mia began to feel the warmth and radiance emanating from the stone, even able to harness this power for simple, natural magic. As Mia gained a deeper understanding and control over the power of the heart of the elements, she decided to stay in Dreamland, protecting this magical land along with Elvira and Phyllis. She started learning more about the forest, including how to use natural forces to maintain and restore ecological balance. Days passed, and Mia gradually grew into a wise figure in the forest. She developed deep friendships with the forest sprites and often ventured out to solve various problems encountered in the forest. Every nightfall, she would stand beside the gemstone tree, pondering the destiny-changing heart of the elements. Years later, new adventurers entered Dreamland, hearing about the legend of a golden-haired girl becoming the guardian of the forest. Mia continued to protect this magical world with her wisdom and courage, ensuring it stayed forever safe from external threats and harm. Her story with Dreamland became an inspiring legend in the hearts of the new generation of villagers.
Milo's amazing adventure in the starry forest in the far north. There is a vast vault of starry forest where all kinds of peculiar creatures live. Inside a huge oak tree's hollow, there lives a little bear named Milo. Milo has extremely bright blue eyes that shine in the dark. Milo is very curious and always dreams of adventures and exploring the unknown world. Every night, the entire forest is lit by silver moonlight, with stars twinkling in the sky. As if beckoning to Milo, he often looks at the stars, filled with longing and imagination for the unknown world. One day, Milo discovered a hidden trail in the mountains that no forest resident had talked about before. The adventure within Milo was ignited. He decided to follow this trail to see where it would take him. He packed his little backpack, filled with his favorite honey and some necessary travel gear, and then leaped out of his den and through the starry forest. Walking on the trail, Milo noticed that the scenery around him started to change. The thick forest gradually turned into open spaces, with large patches of flowers and grass appearing. The fragrance of flowers and grass mixed in the air, creating a fresh and free atmosphere as he walked. He arrived at a large grassland with a well in the center. Milo walked over and curiously peeked into the well. The well reflected the stars and moonlight, deep and mysterious. Just then, he heard a gentle and mysterious voice coming from below, inviting him to explore. Milo was a bit scared, but his curiosity drove him to take the risk. He found a sturdy rope, tied it to a tree beside the well, and then carefully climbed down into the well. As he descended, the surrounding light grew dim. But strangely, the well bottom was not as dark as he imagined. A soft light rose from the bottom, and Milo was surprised to find that the well bottom was actually a gateway to another world. He arrived at a colourful place with vibrant plants and unseen animals, their fur shining in the light. Milo was deeply attracted by the beauty of this new world. He saw winged rabbits and talking flowers, and they greeted him warmly. Milo felt like it was a dream, full of fantasy and fun here. Milo met a flying fox named Finn. Finn invited Milo to join his exploration team to search for the legendary tree of wisdom. It was said that the fruit of the tree of wisdom could make anyone who ate it smarter. Milo and Finn formed a team and started their journey. Along the way, they had to pass through a misty forest. The trees were tall and dense, and sunlight struggled to pierce through the mist, making the whole forest look spooky and mysterious. They faced various challenges in the forest, such as sudden deep ditches and moving vines. But Milo and Finn helped each other, overcoming one challenge after another. After a day of travel, they finally reached the location of the Tree of Wisdom. The tree was incredibly massive, with a sturdy trunk that reached hundreds of meters high, almost touching the clouds. It bore sparkling golden fruits, emitting a warm light, however. Plucking the fruit of wisdom was not easy. Under the tree, a giant golden eagle guarded, its feathers shimmering in the golden light, and its eyes sharp. It was the guardian of the Tree of Wisdom. To obtain the fruit of wisdom, they had to confront this guardian eagle. Facing the giant eagle, Milo and Finn felt very nervous, but they knew they had to face this challenge to get the fruit of wisdom. The guardian eagle eyed the two young heroes with heavy scrutiny, as if testing their courage and wisdom. Finn had an idea and suggested trying to soothe the guardian eagle with music. Milo carefully took out a small flute from his backpack and played the most soothing and peaceful melody he knew. The music drifted in the air, and the entire forest seemed to quiet down. Even the guardian eagle gradually relaxed, as if moved by the wonderful music. As the melodious tunes continued, the guardian eagle's expression softened, and it began to sway gently to the rhythm of the music. Seeing the guardian eagle's reaction, Milo and Finn smiled at each other and continued to attract its attention with the music. That moment, the guardian eagle spread its huge wings, flew up into the sky, and then slowly descended, landing on Milo's shoulder. The eagle's eyes lost their earlier hostility and instead exuded a gentle light. It gently touched the flute in Milo's hand with its beak, as if expressing gratitude. Then, the guardian eagle led them to beneath the tree of wisdom, lightly tapping the ground with its claw. The ground suddenly moved, revealing a hidden hole with a few fruits of wisdom. The guardian eagle stepped back, indicating that Milo and Finn could take these precious fruits. Milo and Finn carefully took out a few fruits of wisdom from the hidden hole. The fruits emitted a soft light and felt warm to the touch. They celebrated with each other, embraced with excitement, and then thanked the guardian eagle for its kindness and assistance. After that, following the guidance of the guardian eagle, they found a flat stone beneath the tree. The stone was inscribed with ancient words, seemingly recording the correct way to use the fruits of wisdom. Milo listened as Finn read the content carved on the stone. It turned out that besides making the eater smarter, the fruit of wisdom could also unlock the deepest wishes and potentials within. Since the number of fruits of wisdom was limited, Milo and Finn decided to each eat one. They felt the warmth the fruits brought, closed their eyes, and fervently prayed that their future wishes would come true. After eating the fruits, Milo suddenly felt a clarity and understanding like never before. He found a deeper understanding and feeling for every leaf and breeze in the forest. Finn also had a similar experience feeling a subtle connection between himself and the birds in the sky and the clouds in the distance. They continued to explore beneath the tree of wisdom and discovered a map. The map showed a path back to the starry forest, which included many unknown challenges. Milo and Finn decided that since they had received the help of the fruits of wisdom, they should be brave and smart enough to face whatever was to come. As Milo and Finn made their way back to the starry forest, they felt an unprecedented excitement and joy in their hearts. Sunlight filtered through the treetops, lighting their way home. They shared their feelings and plans along the way, and decided to tell their forest friends about their experience and the secret of the fruits of wisdom. Upon arriving home, Milo found his friends and told them about his adventure and the wisdom he had gained. The animals of the forest sat together, listening to this fantastic adventure story, their eyes sparkling with excitement and longing. When night fell again, Milo lay on his small bed, looking up at the stars. His inner self had grown from the wisdom he had just received, feeling an unprecedented connection and understanding. The bright stars seemed to smile at him, acknowledging his growth and wisdom gained. Under the shining stars, Milo gradually drifted into a sweet sleep, where he once again embarked on a wonderful journey.
The mysterious visitor of Starlight Island. Deep in the distant sea lies a small island bathed in starlight. Known as Starlight Island, the residents of the island live happily, basking in the warm sunshine and soft sandy beaches every day. At the island's highest point stands an ancient and mysterious lighthouse, whose light, when night falls, intertwines beautifully with the starlight, creating a stunning display. On a bright and sunny morning, the children of the island were playing by the seashore, collecting colorful seashells and building magnificent sandcastles. Suddenly, a peculiar, thick fog emerged from the sea, revealing an unusual and mysterious ship. The ship was oddly shaped, as if it came from another world. The children gathered around curiously as the ship slowly approached the shore. As the ship's doors creaked open, all eyes focused on the figure about to emerge, holding their breath for what was to unfold. Once the cabin door swung fully open, out stepped a character in extravagant attire. His garment was adorned with sparkling stars and moons, and he sported a tall hat with a gentle smile. The elderly gentleman asked, "Hello. I am Elbow from the distant Star Castle. I bring forth a marvelous journey, and am in need of a few brave companions to join." The children exchanged glances, both excited and a little nervous. A girl named Maya summoned her courage and took a step forward, asking may we know what this journey is about. Albo nodded and produced a glowing map from his robe. This a stellar map marking the location of a long-lost treasure. But it's not just for treasure hunting, it's an opportunity to learn about the universe and ourselves. With that, Mia and her friends decided to embark on this unknown journey. They boarded Albo's mysterious ship, which slowly began to drift away from the island, vanishing into the thick fog during the journey. Albo regaled the children with many tales about the universe, igniting their curiosity and imagination. Just as they were engrossed in these enchanting stories, a sudden violent jolt interrupted every pain. Unknown forces were attempting to seize the map. Albo anxiously looked around and whispered, "We must be careful. This part of the galaxy hides many unknown dangers." The children gripped the map tightly, realizing that their adventure had only just begun in the face of the unknown challenges. As the journey progressed, the children of Starlight Island gradually adapted to the life of interstellar traveler. Albo's ship led them through various peculiar planets and galaxies, and at each stop, Albo explained in detail the ecosystems and cultural backgrounds of the planets. Their first stop was a planet called Echoing Stern, where towering crystal pillars emitted soothing melodies when the wind blew through. Here, The children learned how to communicate with the environment through different sound frequencies. Albo smiled and said, "Learn to listen, and the entire universe will open up to you." However, their adventure was not without hurdles. In the upcoming travels, they encountered a cunning group of black hole pirates who attempted to snatch the stellar map from them. The children and Albo had to use their wits to outsmart the pirates, creating powerful sonic disturbances on Echoing Star to evade the pirates' pursuit. Having weathered the crisis, the team continued their journey and arrived at a planet named Fountain of Townin. It was said that the springs on this planet could manipulate time, either accelerating it or reversing it. While on this planet, Mia accidentally touched the spring and witnessed glimpses of the future, the severe threat posed to Starlight Island by natural disasters. This discovery shook everyone deeply. Albo earnestly told Thone, "The future is not fixed. Our choices have the power to change it." With a deeper understanding of the universe and their responsibility, the children became more resolute in their determination to find the treasure and use it to protect their home. Their journey became more purposeful, and each child fostered the idea of becoming a guardian in their hearts. As the journey progressed, the children finally approached the treasure destination, marked on the stellar map, a planet called Radiant Heart. This planet shimmered with countless lights on its surface, beautiful and mysterious. However, just as they were about to land, the black hole pirates reappeared, swiftly surrounding Albo's ship. The pirate captain announced loudly through a megaphone, "Hand over the map, or we will stop at nothing to take it." Faced this sudden threat, the children Albo quickly strategized. They decided to set a trap, using a fake map to lure the pirates while looking for the right opportunity to break free from the enclosure. The plan was put into action. Maya pretended to flee in the chaos, drawing some of the pirate ships in pursuit with a fake map. But in reality, she held the false map. At the same time, Albo and the other children used this opportunity to engage the ship's full speed mode, breaking through in the opposite direction towards the Radiant Heart. just as they were about to evade and succeed in escaping, a massive energy wave from Radiant Heart disabled the engines of the pirate ships, leaving them stranded. It turned out that the planet contained a defense mechanism capable of sensing malicious invasions and protecting itself, taking advantage of the pirates' entrapment. Albo and the children swiftly turned the ship's course toward the Radiant Heart. As they made contact with the planet's surface, a dazzling light enveloped them, and the true secret of the treasure was about to be revealed. Guided by this light, they passed through a tunnel of light, gradually witnessing scenes of cosmic mysteries and the history of the planets. In the dazzling light, the children gradually gained a clear view of their surroundings. Radiant Heart was not a typical planet. It was an entity of energy intelligence. Through visual imagery and memories, it showed the origin of the treasure and its true meaning. As it turned out, the treasure on this planet was not conventional richness, but a core of energy meant to maintain balance and harmony across the entire star system. Thousands of years ago, this energy core had been created by an ancient civilization to preserve peace and prosperity among the planets. Over time, the civilization that maintained it had vanished, causing the core to lose control gradually, leading to various cosmic disasters, including the potential threats faced by Starlight Island. Through these visual images, the children learned that their mission was not solely about finding traditional treasure, but about restoring stability to this energy core, preventing future catastrophes. Alpo explained that only those with pure hearts and courageous spirits could touch and reactivate this, which was precisely why he had chosen these children to embark on this adventure together. As the explanation unfolded, the children realized they carried not just an adventure, but a significant responsibility towards their home and the universe. They must use the knowledge, skills they acquired during their journey to activate this energy core, contributing to the protection of their planet and the entire star system. This revelation left the children shocked yet excited, as they decided to embrace this challenge and fulfill this great mission together. Under Albo's guidance, the children began preparing for the energy core activation ceremony. Throughout this process, everyone had to utilize their unique strengths and learnings to collaborate for success. Under Albo's guidance and with collective effort, they finally reached the core zone of the radiant heart. Forming a circle, they held hands, combining their concentrated thoughts and emotions to initiate the energy core. As the ceremony progressed, the entire space filled with flickering lights and powerful energy ripples emanated in all directions. Suddenly, the entire planet began to tremble, and a harmonious and intense energy surged from the core, spreading throughout the star system. In the darkness, each child's body was enveloped by warm light, feeling an unprecedented sense of strength and tranquility. As the energy stabilized, the tremors on the planet gradually subsided. Albo expressed gratitude to the children, informing them that their actions not only saved Starlight Island, but also protected the peace of the entire star system. The children smiled at each other, feeling a great sense of accomplishment and joy. Finally, Albo led the children safely back to Starlight Island on his mysterious ship. The Allen's residents warmly welcomed their return. The children proudly shared their adventure stories and the cosmic mysteries they had learned. And Starlight Island, through their bravery and wisdom, once again regained peace and radiance.
The brave little heroes of the forest. In a magical forest surrounded by tall trees, there were all kinds of little animals. They played happily among the trees and had fun every day. Right at the very north of the forest, a little rabbit named Titi lived. Tutty was a very smart and curious bunny, with soft white fur and really bright big eyes. Even though she was very small, all of her animal friends in the forest really liked her. One day, a strange sound came from deep in the forest, making the peaceful woods feel tense. The little animals felt nervous and didn't know what was happening. Smart Titty decided to investigate everything and hoped to find out where the sound was coming from and bring peace back to the forest. When Tighty said bye to her family and friends and went on her adventure all alone, everything in the forest seemed normal. Sunlight shone through the cracks in the leaves, making patterns on the ground. Titty listened with her very sharp ears as she walked. Suddenly she heard a very quiet crying sound ahead. A sad little sound, carefully. Titty went toward the sound and found a little deer sitting on a big rock, looking really sad. The deer's foot had gotten caught on a tree root, and it couldn't get free. When Tighty saw how stuck the deer was, she comforted it and tried to help it get out of trouble. Just as Titty was trying to help the deer, a sly fox suddenly jumped out of the bushes. The fox had been attracted by the crying sound. Titty knew the fox was very clever and could be tricky, so she quickly got into a clever fight with the fox. After a lot of going back and forth, Tighty used her smarts and what she knew about the forest to set a little trap. The fox wasn't paying attention and got caught in the trap. Taking advantage of this, Titty quickly helped the deer out of trouble and helped it stand up. The deer looked at Titty very thankful, and its eyes filled with tears of gratitude. Tighty smiled and told the deer that everyone is part of the forest and helping each other is important. The two of them walked home together. Little by little, the other animal friends in the forest found out about this brave act, and they all said thank you and showed respect to Titty. But Titty knew her adventure wasn't over yet. There were still more secrets waiting for her to find. Titty and the deer walked home together, and the deer talked to Titty about the strange sounds they had been hearing. It turned out that every night, these sounds scared a lot of the little animals in the forest. Titty decided to go explore the truth about the sounds at night, and the deer suggested bringing the night active owl, Ollie, because Ollie's eyes could see very clearly in the dark. When evening came, Titty the deer and Ollie met in the woods. The three of them quietly went to find where the sounds were coming from. In the moonlight, the forest seemed mysterious and full of unknown things. Ollie flew above to check things out and carefully guided them in the right direction. Finally, they reached a place where the bushes were thick. Hidden behind the bushes was a little lid, and the moonlight made the water sparkle, and it looked very beautiful and quiet. But the strange sounds were coming from this lake. It seemed like something in the bushes by the lake was moving a little and making strange noises. Carefully, the three of them went closer to the edge of the lake. Suddenly, a huge swan quietly floated up from the water, its wings gently flapping and making lots of little splashes. It turned out that the swan was preening its feathers at night and accidentally bumped into some things at the edge of the lake, making the strange sounds. The swan saw Tighty and her friends had come, and it gracefully swam to the edge of the water. It quietly explained that because it was so big, moving around at night could make some noise. It said it was very sorry for scaring everyone. Tutti and her friends all felt much better. It turned out the scary sounds were just a misunderstanding. Ollie made happy sounds, and the deer jumped around cheering. Tutti suggested the swan spend more time with everyone in the daytime so they could all understand each other better and avoid misunderstandings and fear. The swan agreed and it invited everyone to share a nice cool nighttime snack by the lake. At this nighttime snack by the lake, Tutti and her friends shared their stories with the swan and got to know each other better. But just as they were getting ready to leave, they suddenly heard urgent calls from far away. The sounds were coming from the other side of the forest, and something unusual seemed to be happening to the deer. And Ollie quickly said goodbye to the swan and decided to go look together. They went through the thick forest, and the closer they got to the sounds, the more they could feel the ground shaking and the smell of smoke getting stronger. Finally, in a small open area, they found a little raccoon that had fallen into a trap left behind by a hunter. The raccoon looked very scared and helpless, and its legs seemed hurt. It was trying hard to get out, but it couldn't. Titi and her friends knew they had to act quickly. Ollie flew up to check for any other dangers and guided Titi and the deer on how to carefully get close to the trap. Titi used her long whiskers to sense the ground and carefully avoid the hidden trap line. And the deer used its long legs and strong hooves to carefully pry open the trap. After a few nervous minutes, the trap was finally opened, and the raccoon sat there, breathing heavily and clearly very scared. Titi comforted it gently and carefully checked its injuries. She made a simple bandage for the raccoon's leg with leaves and soft moss to make it feel better. At that moment, they heard more animal sounds. And when they looked up, they saw that other little animals in the forest had come to help. All the animals gathered together and carried the raccoon back to its home, making sure it could get better in a safe place. This adventure not only saved the raccoon, but also deepened the friendships and trust among all the little lives in the forest. After safely taking the raccoon home, Titi and her friends got together to plan how to avoid similar trap accidents in the future. Ollie suggested creating a forest patrol team to watch over the forest, find dangers, and warn other animals in time. The deer suggested they could learn some basic first aid in case of an emergency. Titi really supported these ideas and suggested they could mark dangerous areas with signs in the trees and on the ground. All the animals agreed with Titi's ideas and thought it was a good way to protect their home and stay safe. For the next few days, Titi and her friends were busy placing warning signs in the forest and teaching other little animals how to recognize possible danger. Ollie and the other birds were in charge of watching from above, while Titi the deer and the other land animals patrolled the ground. They also had meetings to teach everyone about avoiding accidents and how to ask the forest patrol team for help when they had a problem. These activities gradually created a new order in the forest, making the whole forest safer, with the protection and rescue systems successfully in place. The animals in the forest started to embrace this new way of life under the leadership of Titi and her team. They were no longer simple forest residents, but had become members of a big family who helped and loved each other. The animals learned to rely on each other and value the friendships in unity among themselves. A few months later, life in the forest had improved a lot. The animals were no longer scared of sudden dangers. Under the protection of the forest patrol team, the little animals could live and play safely. One day the forest held a big celebration. Titi was chosen as an honorary guardian and was given a special flower crown as a symbol of honor because of her bravery and cleverness. All the animals gathered together, enjoyed delicious fruits and fresh honey, and celebrated the arrival of a new and better life in the forest. As night fell, Titi stood in the moonlight, looking at the stars, and felt hopeful. She knew that as long as everyone stayed united, the forest would always be a safe and happy home.